The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café.
Welcome to this episode of Pit Life BBQ. Gather around the pit with your hosts, Johnny Maggs and Greg the Barbecue Broker DiGiorgio. Let's talk barbecue.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Café in Salem, New Hampshire. It's the Pit Life BBQ podcast where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that you normally talk around the pit.
You literally just walked
As
in.
always, I'm joined by the barbecue broker.
You literally, for you guys that haven't seen, couldn't see this.
Impeccable timing.
When I say impeccable timing, okay, I literally just said to our guest that Johnny's in traffic, and then as soon as the music started, his ass comes hobbling up the stairs.
Yeah.
Bad knee and all from the wretched,
Bad knees. Come
bad
on,
knees
get
from
with
the
it.
wretched cold that we have, right? It really affecting
Oh, my God.
my back and his knees. He literally sits down and puts the mic on and goes, "Welcome to," like
What's up, everybody?
Yep.
that was the
Perfection.
timing, everyone. Like, legit.
Oh, man.
Incredible. What's up, dude? How the hell are you? I feel so bad for you guys out there.
I forgot today was the day after the holiday.
Driving around in a shoebox.
Oh, that's
So
rough.
we're absolutely decimated with COVID cases.
Yep.
So we're missing half the workforce. So then the
Unbelievable.
day after the holiday is always crazy,
regardless of
you know, with the double packages, double mail, all this.
Yep.
So then we're waiting on the packages to get sorted in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like tick, 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 tick. I'm like, come on. So I told him, I go, you might have to start this without me, but I'll get there. Probably, I'm hoping at least by the end of the reads. But hey, lo and behold,
you
look at that.
walked-
How's that for time?
I mean, you couldn't have timed it out any better.
I'm pretty sure I got a text message from Dutch saying I'm late, but technically I was, sort of.
What's up, C-Mac?
Hi.
Hi, Dutch. There he is. Late as usual, damn Chrissy. Oh, he blamed you, Chrissy?
Let me tell you something, Dutch. You would have been proud of my driving performance I just put on. It was Dale Earnhardt-esque, if I might.
What's up, Alton?
Brother Alton.
Dogfather in the house, Chrissy. Just thought I'd mention.
oh,
a little,
he's here.
she's a
Well,
little late on the draw there.
oh, because I'm looking at the chat where they're all giving me someone giving me a hard time, someone being nice. Fine. I'm sorry. Did we say the dog fire's in the house?
That's
Damn
right. That's
straight.
right.
She's slow, but she gets there.
Well, anyway, it's been brutal out. It's been really cold.
Brutal cold.
It's been raining hard. It's been snowing hard up in New Hampshire.
Oh, I got buried yesterday.
We didn't get any snow yesterday.
Yeah. I got down to work today. I'm like, where's all the snow? Oh, it's all up in my
It was like
house.
half snow. It was like ice. It was like snow and icicles yesterday. You couldn't even really go outside. If you risk, it was like risking your life and limb, literally. But yeah, it was cold. And I did a brisket. No, that was 2 weeks ago. I didn't cook anything this week. You cook anything?
Oh, hell no.
Because the last brisket I
Nothing.
did was for my in-laws. That was last week and a half ago. I didn't light the smoker up this week.
I didn't do anything.
Matter of fact,
I feel shame.
I got to take the night train out on the road just for a ride.
Oh, you
so I
have?
don't get flat spots in the tires.
There you go.
These things happen, especially
Don't need tire rot in the winter.
especially here, and it gets so cold. I mean, look, we're not in like Canada now, but it was 3 degrees here the other day, and the wind chill was below zero today. If you don't, in the air in your tires, it dissipates, and you get those flat spots. So,
Brother Alton's putting us on the big screen and sipping some Sprite. Add up, baby, Brother Alton.
my dude.
He's the best.
Well, I'm
So-
excited. Yeah, we're excited about today.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's get into
Today is brought to you by...
the brass tacks.
No, we haven't got that yet. Well, it could be.
This is we're getting into the brass
We'll get
tacks. Today's episode is always brought to you by everybody's favorite uncle, and that would be Uncle Steve Shake. Look, if you're wondering why nobody's coming by your barbecue when you light up, but yet your buddy's getting all the action, it's because he's using Uncle Steve Shake, and apparently you're not. Which means one thing, Chrissy.
You better get you some now.
Damn straight. Uncle Steve Shake is handmade, uses only the finest ingredients, and comes in 12 amazing flavors, including the competition line and dessert shake, which I just put on some chopped fruit the other day and some whipped cream.
Oh, party right there.
Delicious. If you have any shake questions, Uncle Steve has fantastic customer service to walk it through all your shake needs. It's time to take your backyard barbecue game and that competition game to that next level with Uncle Steve's Shake. Stuffed. You like that?
Give me that.
Cigars in the house. Today's episode also brought to you by, speaking of which...
Two Guys Smoke Shop and twoguyscigars.com. Whether we are barbecuing or not, we always keep the smoke rolling thanks to our friends at twoguyscigars.com. Today we are smoking the La Giana in the Robusto size. Thanks to our friends at twoguyscigars.com, we get to smoke some of the best cigars in the world, and so can you.
And we do.
Just visit twoguyscigars.com for your perfect barbecue companion. That's the number 2, guyscigars.com.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also brought to you by...
Well, that would be Backline Fabrication and Backline Smokers.
Hey, I know him.
Hey, look, that would be Mr. Ryan Newland from Austin, Texas. He's just pumping out some of the best one-off custom builds, whether it be a trailered offset smoker, 1,000-gallon for you to outfit your restaurant, or a live fire device. I mean, the guy's just making some serious builds out of his one-man shop. Every square inch of his build is fabricated by Ryan, and he takes the time to really learn about what makes you tick and what you love, and he incorporates that into his builds, which really makes it very, very personal. Nothing bad to say. Check him out, Ryan Newland. Possibilities are endless. BacklineFabrication.com. Check him out. Also, today's episode brought to you by
Magna Chef and Magna Chef gloves. Our brother Alan Fonte knows a little bit of something about fire management and fire prevention. He's a Miami-Dade firefighter.
Yep.
He designed these gloves. I literally juggle charcoal with these. I don't recommend it on a regular basis, but you want a quick laugh from the neighbors, you can do so and not burn your hands. These gloves are incredible. Food-grade silicone, patented magnetic clips. You ever get the barbecue gloves and you're trying to get them off, and you can't?
They turn inside out, and the inside
then
part
you get
comes
all,
out.
Your clean hand gets greasy, you know. Not no more. Click them right in, a little twist,
That's it. Out.
boom.
Boom, done. Feel
Right
it.
out, and they don't go nowhere.
Magnetic.
So it doesn't drop on the ground and get dirty and grass.
They
and
work pretty
dirt,
good
and
for magnetic
then boom,
clips.
put it right back on.
Yep.
Even for these meat hooks.
And he's got the meat hooks, trust me.
Easy on and off, heat rated up to 500 degrees, web fit for firm grip, one size fits all, dishwasher safe, and more importantly,
Made in America.
made right here in the USA.
Did I ruin that?
Yeah.
Made in America.
No,
America.
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 Same thing.
America.
So, guys, hop on magnachef.com, order yourself a pair or 2 or 3. They come in black, red, blue, green, and orange.
I got myself a pair of red ones to match the BBQ Broker logo. Just saying.
They're fantastic.
And you should do the same. I'm just kidding.
They are fantastic. So, yeah, magnachef.com.
And I've said them before, is I've actually kept these on and wrapped briskets in them. You could feel the meat still, and they're
Oh, yeah, you can
tight
function
enough
with
to
them, no
your
problem.
hands where you don't have to waste a box of nitro gloves or when
There
you're
you go.
cooking a case of briskets or whatever, because they are hard to find these days.
Thank you there, sir.
Anywho, now we're going to get into the
Now we're
brass
getting
tacks.
into brass tacks.
Now we got to get into the brass tacks.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
It is so
excited.
funny. We always talk about the barbecue community
Yep.
is extremely small and tight-knit. Today's guest was actually mentioned in last week's episode and was gracious enough to send us a message. Let's get something going. Boom, let's get this week.
So she watches. She's a fan.
Absolutely. Everyone's a
yes.
fan. Everyone's a fan.
Let's go.
Local to here in New England, hailing from our home state of Massachusetts. You know, well, now I'm in New Hampshire, but still,
Your home state
my roots are
originally.
where my roots are.
Yep.
You know,
Still deliver mail at your roots.
heck yeah.
Drive all the way just to deliver mail where your roots are. So
You done?
always.
Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Please welcome from the Northeast Barbecue Society, amongst other things, Miss Kathy Trainor.
Kathy.
Hello, everyone.
How's
Hi.
it going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, thank you for reaching out. That was awesome because we're always looking for different guests, and it just worked out perfect, didn't it?
I stop everything for Kids Q, and that's how it started.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. What are you doing?
He's
I'm doing-
producing the producer. He
I'm-
makes me want to fight him
No,
every way.
Backseat producing here, so I can see
Okay,
Kathy
you
better.
do your thing. And
I
I'm
can
gonna
only
do
see
mine.
like this much of Kathy's face, and I just wanted to make sure that I could
It's not all about you,
see
Greg.
what we're working
it's
with
not all
here.
about you.
Anywho, Kathy, thank you so
About
much.
Kathy.
So, Kathy, through our conversations for the past week, you kind of got your hands in a whole bunch of stuff.
I really do.
It's not necessarily focused on one way or the other. But first and foremost, tell everybody, who is Kathy Trainor? How did you get into the barbecue world? How did you start your barbecue journey?
Okay, so my husband and I years ago had 2 small children, and we were home brewers. We really liked brewing beer. And as the kids got older, the beer stuff was too much space with the toys and all the kid stuff. So I said, okay, everything has to go outside. So it switched into barbecue. Switch was easy. We could feed ourselves, feed the neighborhood, do whatever. And there was a local contest. And that was it. We did it once and we were hooked. But what I didn't realize is that I was a little more addicted to it than he was. So I just kept finding more contests, kept finding out where we could go, try to do this. And then I noticed that little ones were doing it. I'm like, well, I come with a special ed background. That's really important to make sure that kids can cook because they need it later on in life. So it spiraled into Kids Q and everything about Kids Q, including speaking at the National Barbecue Association's meeting a couple of years ago before COVID. I spoke there about Kids Q, and that's how I met your guest last week, Mike Erickson. So I, explained how cooking can start as early as, infancy, really just learning how to pick things up, put things in places, dishes, whatever, and it spirals from there. And now there's scholarships for kids that cook and how important that is. After doing tons of contests all over, we decided when the contest kind of started to fizzle out, we're like, well, we need to start making them. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, why can't we make a contest? We can, and we did 4 last year, and we have 6 on the docket this year in New England. And it's been really receptive. Actually, last year I had to turn teams away because we didn't have enough judges. So now we're in the reverse. We need judges.
Okay.
And that's really like anything barbecue, I'm willing to figure it out and network and talk to people because it's one of the few places my family feels accepted because my 2 boys have autism. So when they cook, they feel included. And that's where inclusive barbecue events came from. We wanted to make sure that we had an environment where the boys were understood. And as a family, we're not your traditional family, but we can have some fun like everybody else. And that's all us. That's me. That's what I do. And I've been fortunate enough to be on the NEBS board this year, working on sanctioning, helping with member development, as well as making sure that we have some fun events coming up.
That's really unbelievable. So your inclusive barbecue is totally separate the NEBS, right?
It is.
So what is
that's the organizer side of it.
The inclusive barbecue events? That's your
Yep.
the organizing side of it. So that
Yep.
is it like a side? Is it like a business that's totally separate, or just related, or intertwined with your
So
with NEBS, or is
it's
it?
not even a business. My
Okay.
husband and I don't take an income.
Okay.
The goal of it was to create more contests
Okay.
because when COVID hit, we saw a lot of organizations and charities start to suffer, and they really couldn't sustain opening up another contest, partly because of overhead, but just, were teams interested still? Were they able to come out? So my husband and I said, let's do what the charities used to do. Let's organize a contest and make sure the money all goes back to the charity.
Yep.
So, with a little bit of prize pool for the teams, we can then donate to the charity. So my husband and I take no overhead for that. We really just sit there and do the nitty gritty of gaining the teams, gaining the judges, and holding off the contest.
Amazing.
Oh, awesome.
I just think it's how. First of all, doing more competitions this year. I got my feet wet last year, and I am hooked. The guys are hooked. Johnny's
There's
had
one
some.
in March. You can come on down.
Johnny's. I'm going to be there. I believe. I need to get in all the info from you, but Johnny's had a few comps in the past prior to myself, and he's just like how much fun they are and
it's
the
a
community
blast.
and then our first comp this year, Johnny was going to be there, but ended up couldn't make it because of work scheduling. But we did a KCBS for our first one, which was at the campground in New Hampshire.
Hancock, New Hampshire.
In Hancock, New Hampshire, last year at the seven acres.
Seven Maples.
Seven
Seven
Maple,
Maples.
yeah. And we were just hooked. The amount of people that came over to us, they just knew that there was a new team in town, and so many people just walked up and they're like, hey, good luck. Let us know if you need anything. People offering, do you guys know how to trim correctly? Do you need help with trimming? We're like, I think we got it. Then we watched, is it Jane? What's her name? Janie? Jana, right? Yep. The way she showed us how she trimmed her pork butt. That's not anything that we were used to doing, So she's like, yeah, you cut this. And so, it was just so welcoming. And now we're hooked.
Well, I kind of rigged that. I told Billy Gillespie hey, the boys are coming up. Make them feel welcome, will you?
Billy was great.
Billy was awesome.
We were right diagonal
Billy's
from
great.
Billy. We got a chance to hang out with him, and it's awesome, man. And I actually made a rack of ribs with his rub and sauce last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's really good. It really is.
Good stuff.
So I'm hooked, and I'm going to be doing more this year. So we'll be seeing each other this year, Kathy. I know that for sure.
Good.
And I'm actually just talking to my son about it this year. About see if he's interested in doing the kids' queue.
Hell yeah, he's right.
I have twins, 12 years old, boys.
Yeah, the age group for it.
Yeah, it's my daughter though, my 7-year-old daughter, that is really the one that asks to help more.
No, heck yeah.
Why am I going to push the envelope with my boys if they don't really want to do it? Except for my daughter, she's asking to do it. She's going to end up doing it with me.
We have siblings competing against each other.
That's amazing.
So they can all compete against each other, and they think it's hilarious to figure out who does better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. No, that would be great. I would love to get them in there. Y'all kids have done a competition
Oh yeah,
already?
we did it with C-Max at his Riverfest.
Yep.
He has a somewhat quasi-private event,
Non-sanctioned backyard event.
But
Big
yeah,
event,
he threw a kids steak competition.
Yep.
This year, and my two came in with a second place steak,
Yep.
and actually his daughter came in first place. But it wound up being one of the shining moments of the day, because it's literally all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's 7 or more till whenever the last person leaves. But yeah, he had it all in, like, I want to say 6 or 8 grills set up in the driveway, all roped off.
Yep.
And everyone just swarmed, just watching the kids, and the kids are going, oh. But yeah, they're sitting there, scheming with their partner, and
Yep.
no, don't flip it yet. And I could see my daughter counting, because I was giving her some tips.
Yep.
So she's counting seconds off of her off of her hand. But yeah, with the kids, it's the future, right there, because it's always going to keep on going. Now, Kathy, you had said something with your kids are autistic.
They are.
My son is autistic, and he trying to find something to do with them or to keep his attention and everything, is a incredible feat. He just kept on peeking around the corner or peeking in the yard when I was hitting the smoker and spraying, and because first off, I got all types of toys, just sprayers and poking and this and that. So then, he kept working his way over. Next thing you know, hey, can you, teach me? Heck yeah, and doing this, doing that, and he's a hot dog cooking machine. We did a funny YouTube video 2 4th of Julys ago, hot dog cooking contest. I was doing mine, and he was doing his on his little Weber, and I thought I won. I was using mine on the Vortex. That high heat and got the nice sear on it. But he goes, no, you're burning it. You don't know what you're talking about. But it was
back to the basics. Your son took you back to the basics.
They take over.
It's fun. It was so
start
funny
to be like, no, you're doing it wrong.
Right?
You didn't
It's
have
the way
it.
of the
What are you
future.
doing?
New ways.
But it was so heartwarming, You know what I mean? Just to watch him do it, or when they were flipping those steaks and I was off to the side, it's like, hey, all right. But, it comes in with that. Now, obviously, do you got any stories with the first time they started or how you steered them in that direction?
So for me, one of my sons is a little more severe. So I wanted to make sure that he learned a lot of life skills. Like, what is he going to need as he grows older? So we started inside the house and then we moved outside the house. But when I pushed them to do their first competition, I remember my son walking the box to Andy King. And Andy King, like, he was afraid of Andy. I'm like, why are you afraid of Andy? He's the nicest guy on the planet. But he's shaking the box. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that's going to look like right now, but you got it to the table.
Yeah.
But he didn't care because he ran all the way back. He's like, I'm all done. I'm like, you're all done. You're free to go play.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he shook the box all the way there because he was so nervous and excited, but he did it.
Yep. That's amazing.
Oh, man.
We see that afterwards. The kids come running, and then they're in the middle of a parking lot playing in a puddle, or they were playing the last contest. We had 11 teams, and they were playing Uno in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, great, you're playing Uno. Have fun.
Yeah. We had an event 2 years ago for one of our friends' nephew, and my son, he wanted to come along. Mm-hmm. So he's hanging out with the boys. Next thing you know, it's all right. Where is he?
Overnight cook,
and he's over in the parking lot by the truck playing with his Legos and his cars.
Or he's back at me. He's like, "Is it time to spray the meat yet?"
Yeah,
he wanted to spray the meat. Like,
that was his job. He goes to bed.
Yeah.
In the back seat of the truck, and next thing you know, it's like 2:00 in the morning. I feel the little nudge on the shoulder.
He just kind of
where we at?
He just kind of spawns next.
Where
to you.
We at?
Just a spawn. Whoop,
You're supposed to be sleeping.
How'd you get there? You sleeping?
But fine, don't tell your mother.
I have a story where we pulled up to a contest. A competitor didn't even look for us. They were looking for the kids. I'm like, they're in the trailer. Like, what are you doing? So this competitor just jumped in the trailer. Like, hi guys, what's up? I'm like, and this is why we do it. It's just, it's inclusive and everybody's included and you can have some fun.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Mike C, what's up, buddy? Kevin, what's up, guys? Jeff
I know
Nelson.
one of the points you had told me is you were awarded the Smithfield Grant for the Snowshoe 2022.
We were.
What is that?
Wow. One Saturday night, I sat there and I'm like, I'm going to go. New England barbecue is important and we can show it. So a Saturday night, I was completely just bored. And I was like, all right, let's fill out the application. I got that email and I called my husband at work. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. He's like, what? He's like, you're lying. You're joking on me. I'm like, nope. So we got the grant. It will be for Snowshoe, which is March 19th. And Smithfield was extremely generous. They gave an additional $1,500 to the prize pool, which means that we can spread that out amongst several categories and Kids Q, which is also going to do a pork product. So that means that, up in New England, to get that recognition on top of that, to have Smithfield know that this contest is a little bit unique. It is mostly grilling, and it is more that out of the box for a category, not your typical chicken, ribs, brisket, and pork. It was nice to kind of see that they appreciated some of the skills that we have up here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
Because like you said, we're not necessarily known. For barbecue.
Yeah.
That's like when I started the show back in 2018, I got a couple comments. What do you guys from New England know about barbecue? Well, kind of we're the crock pot of barbecue. So we kind of have it all.
It's like we try to honor regional barbecue where it's the best.
Yeah.
Texas has got their beef game, and the South has got their pork game, and whatever. Kansas City's got the burn end game. Everyone's got a little of this, They love their chicken and white sauce down in Bama.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many times have you made like a smoked chicken or a fried chicken or something and made a nice white sauce to go with it? Then that's dedicated to that region, right? So you are right. We are kind of a melting pot, I feel.
Oh, we're absolutely.
We don't really
we're not
have
known
a style.
For one thing.
We don't really have a style, per se. But again, we New England
We put our own little flair.
We'll call it Boston accent on things, right? You know, like I recently had a brisket and I did a couple lobster tails with it. Right? There you go.
You know, and even Billy Gillespie, one of his rubs is an apple rub. You know,
is it what? Apple
rub. Mm-hmm. You know, so apple trees and everything, known for the New England, especially
maple.
He spun that into it.
Yep. You use like a maple, barbecue sauce or maple glaze or something, and it's a real Vermont maple syrup. You know, put a little Boston accent on it that way.
Absolutely.
Well, not so much Boston, but New England accent. You know, so yeah, we are the melting pot, so to speak.
So, Kathy, with you being in
Ben.
an event coordinator, a contest coordinator, how much does that entail? Because that's got to be no small feat.
It's a lot less time than I thought. My first one, it took a lot of time, but I would say it's maybe about an hour and a half a week. Between everything. So it's networking with the teams to know like, hey, the contest is available. Let's get you signed up. Looking for judges and also making sure that I have fluid communication with NEBS because they're the ones that's going to help sanction the contest. Mm-hmm. So I kind of put those into 3 little buckets, about 30 minutes a week. I am online a little bit more just because of the nature of like just wanting to make sure my teams are okay because a lot of them have questions. A lot of them want to know like, what about this? Can I do this? Or did I get the packet right? So I try to be available. But that kind of goes with my background as being in special education. I want to make sure that everybody understands and I don't want to leave anybody behind. But I would say on an average, if an organizer were to do this, it'd be about 90 minutes a week.
Okay. Now, like you said, the first time you did it, took a while. Then obviously after that, you get some stuff kind of set up and you start building relationships with the different places. Now, like, how would you go about, booking a site like the campground?
That's our biggest challenge is honestly finding a location.
Site acquisition management, yeah.
My first one, I had rode around to a bunch of different halls and like different like American Legions, VFWs, those type of things.
Yep.
A lot of them really weren't sure who we were or what we were doing. So like, why do you want my facility? I happened to attend the class and cook with NEBS. And someone there was like, hey, my VFW would like to do this. And then my Legion would like to do it. I was like, okay, great. So then just finding an inside connection was a little bit easier. So we've been able to just kind of ask a lot of places, and you do get a lot of no's, but sometimes people just need a little more explanation about what is barbecue, what is it for, and what would be the benefit of having us there. In most cases, once you sit down and explain it, they're like, oh, that sounds like fun. Can I have some leftovers? Like, can I have the food? Yeah, sure. You want to come judge? Like, let's judge. Yep. So it's really just growing that network, which I think is something that can continue to happen and make those partnerships with different charities and organizations that are looking for a little bit of extra money just to a basic cooking competition.
Okay. Now, the second part of it would be obviously the location, but then I'd say a close second would be the judging. Now, how do you go about that? Do you have a specific set, or do the judges need to be like KCBS certified beforehand? And
so right now, through NEBS handles a lot of the judging. I have to find judges, but we got a good mix. We get a good mix of existing KCBS judges or people that want to become judges. So they're looking for competitions to get more information. They're looking to kind of expand that. And because of COVID, the past 2 years has been really difficult to kind of run judging class. So these contests have actually been able to facilitate more interest toward judging. So I believe NEBS is looking at running a couple different ideas. But with that said, it really offers, if you've judged a couple times, even though you're not certified, you kind of know like what to expect next. Just like KCBS does, there is an initial kind of process of like what is expected, what to judge if you're non-certified judge. NEBS kind of does that too. They go through the same thing. So it's not judging if you're not certified is you get introduced to it very similar, whether it be SCA, KCBS or NEBS. It's very similar. They offer like an introduction class when you get there.
Okay.
Got it. So how are you associated? How is NEBS associated with like the other national barbecue societies, KCBS, IBCA,
MBN,
yep.
GBA.
How do you guys all work together? Are you you're totally separate, but you worked, you still kind of try to offer KCBS, and tell us how that all works.
So NEBS itself is kind of a diverse unit, because a lot of the associations across the U.S. might not necessarily offer to sanction individual contests, but they may provide team of the year, just like NEBS does. They may provide classes like NEBS does, but every region kind of does things a little bit differently. So that's, and NEBS offers a lot of information and a lot of opportunity to grow within barbecue and network. And then it's not just for teams. It could be for restaurants, it could be for the enthusiast, and it could be for the judge or just the family that's looking for something else to do.
Got it. So is the KCBS more, did you work more with like one, like I've noticed like up this area, there's been more KCBS up in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. But you guys are always advertising that, or in your publications on your sites. You have all the local KCBSs, right? Is there any other leagues besides KCBS that come up to the Northeast area? And any other leagues that would be national enough to have that reach?
Not right now.
Okay.
I know that SCA has tried to, kind of do a couple things.
They had that at Seven Maples last year.
Yeah, they had it at Seven Maples. They did something in Cora Schreiner's main event.
In Maine, yep.
They did that. There was talk of doing something in Connecticut with SCA, but a lot of that is we provide that for information for the members of NEBS to go, okay, it's not just barbecue. There's steak. There's different contests for like auxiliary categories. So it's really offers one section to be like, oh, in this area, we can provide this information for you. Right.
Yeah. Isn't there, speaking of this, the steak, is it true that KCBS, I think I read or heard somewhere that KCBS was coming out with a steak division?
It does look like that. I think on their website they have a little bit more information.
Okay. But more or less it's the SCA, which I really enjoyed. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much cooking a ribeye for competition as I would a brisket or ribs or something, but we had a lot of fun with that. We were like
my first one was in Kansas City while I was speaking about Kids Q, and I came in 9th place out of 55 teams.
For your SCA?
I almost fell over. I was like, okay, apparently I can cook a steak.
We did all right. We got 13th out of like 25 or something like that. For our first time ever really doing it, we cooked on an 18-inch Weber kettle with some grill grates that weren't really made for it. And,
yep.
we it was just like, I think they were for a rec tech or something. I don't know. They worked though. But we used to see this. It was like when the race car pulls into the pit. It was like lift, scrape, spray, flip, lift, scrape. It was like rotate, lift, spray, scrape, spray, put, rotate. Flip. It was crazy.
That's a perfect explanation. It really is like a little pit crew.
It is like
driving everything.
It's like a little pit crew. Everyone has their job. Everyone's got their little thing to do. And then, of course, you got to have the guy filming, for social media. That's another whole job on its own when you're at these competitions and trying to get footage to put on your social media accounts. Taping is that's a whole other job. Filming and editing and all that crap. What is this editing you speak of? That's John's famous line.
I film to edit.
But no, that's really interesting to know how it all ties in together. Just like all the different leagues and everything. And, I would assume like if another league like IBCA or something wanted to expand to the Northeast, you guys would probably work with them or you'd work together in getting that out there to everybody. Probably,
that's
I would
correct.
imagine. Okay. That is really, really awesome. And I have a little interest in maybe being certified to be a judge. I think that would be...
Oh, you're certifiable, that's for sure.
But it would also be advantageous. I'm just thinking to have that mindset, right, as a judge. Chrissy, wouldn't that be advantageous, you think, to have that mind, just to know what they're looking for?
Yeah.
You think you know what they're looking for. They're looking for the best cue, but what exactly? Can't be too much of this. Can't be too much of that. Or it's going to be too much
they
for some
can't give you
people.
all the answers. And
Well, I think,
how is it competition?
well, I think that a lot of guys, KCBS guys, actually go through the training to see. They actually do judge. Mostly they compete, but they like to know what the frame of mind is
Okay.
for the judge.
Through the years of the show, a lot of the guys, and it's coming from big name guys, Billy Gillespie, Junior Urias, Robbie Royal, they've all said the same things. Take a judging class
Yep.
and take a cook's class. Because you start right off ahead of the game.
Okay, I'm with you.
So take
Yeah.
a professional barbecue and cooking class and take a judging class.
It's like entering the army.
Because the judging, it varies depending on where in the country you are. The different
Right.
flavor profiles. You know, like Robbie Royal, he's in Georgia.
Yep.
So you're talking a very sweet, obviously Georgia peaches. And so you're going to
profile.
have that profile.
Yeah.
While you move a little further west, you're going to get a sweeter, but more of a tang. And, so just understanding the whole judging process, what the KCBS protocol is looking
Okay.
for taste
Yep.
profiles. But yeah, that in a cooking class, and you're going to be ahead of the game right off the bat.
It's like entering the army as an officer rather than a private. No? Something like that?
Yeah, I'm not even about to touch that one.
Well, I'm saying you end up coming at the entry level. You're coming in with some background, with some knowledge base on the subject.
Yeah, so to speak, I suppose.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Kathy, Tim Rogers has a question. How long has it been since the last snowshoe event?
We think, and this is, it's either 8 or 9 years, we think. There is a question on whether it was a little bit shorter, but it's been a while. And it was something that I did when I started. It was like my third event, and we had a lot of fun. I'm like, where is this event? It was like 3 feet of snow on the ground, and we're jumping over snow piles to turn stuff in, and my feet were frozen, and I'm like, I still wanted to go back. So I'm like, you don't know, it could be pouring, because one of them I went to, it was pouring. So this is the whole thing. You don't know if it's going to snow. You don't know if it's going to rain. Is your easy up going to bust on you? But you just go and have fun.
The win that we had today, I don't know any easy up that's staying up.
Oh, because because you were saying the date on that was
Holy
March
crap.
19th.
Yeah.
It's still like blizzard season here.
We've gotten blizzards at the beginning of April. So
Yeah.
you want to talk about potentially cooking in the elements. We got it here.
The elements for sure.
And that's what makes this event so unique, because it doesn't come around very often. And when it does, it's a wild card. You just don't know what you're walking into that day.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's New England barbecue for you.
Hey,
That's it. That's what it comes down to.
should I start some crap?
Why? What are they saying?
I don't know. I'd like to see some of the Texas boys doing some barbecue in a blizzard.
Ooh, they did it. They
Right.
You know what?
I
I
know
didn't.
they
I didn't
did.
see too many of them cooking during the snowstorm last year. Or did they? Actually, Big Rome.
Big Rome was throwing down.
Big Rome made his little ice box out of the snow. Put his couple brews in. I think those guys were using the snow.
They
as
made
a
the best of it.
outdoor
They made the
iglue,
best of it.
But we get that's a dusting
to
for us. But we're also prepared for it, right? Salt trucks and
Let's
shovels.
see if we got any more questions from the.
I mean, I keep a
boys
shovel
in the
right by my
chat.
door all winter because you never know when you're going to wake up to a foot of snow.
We do too.
Just sit right by the front door, right by the back door. And sometimes if we do know it's coming, it's going to be big, we keep a shovel inside because you got to shovel out. You open your door, comes in, and the snow is sometimes piled up to there.
you
The
gotta
wind
dig your
hits
way
it. The
out.
wind pelts my back porch, so it's like the snow. I can get up to 5 feet high.
Wow.
So we gotta shovel out to get out sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And
that-
you're in the woods.
Oh,
You're up in north, so
we got slammed with another 8-9 inches of snow yesterday.
and that's the
so-
difference between where you are and where I am is that we got pelted with just rain, and
Yeah.
you got hit with like 8 inches of snow.
What?
Anyway, but I'm excited for this year.
What the hell happened? Oh,
It's-
I lost connection. There we go.
Me and the boy, we're all excited. We're going to try to definitely be more involved. I run a catering business. I just started last year, barbecue catering business. So I have a lot of weekends that are taken up with that. But I learned last year that I need to get all my barbecue stuff dates lined up now before I start booking all the catering jobs. I can book around the comps. That would be the key.
Now
And
you're
you,
talking
like other
sense.
caterers, do the same thing. They try to figure out where their favorite competitions are
Yeah.
and go, okay, I'm not available that weekend because I'm at a competition. But that also a way for get your catering information out there.
It is. Yeah, it's true. No, it's.
Oh, heck yeah. The
Yeah.
amount of people at one of the, what is the average, attendance for one of the events around here?
So for the NEBS events that I've been planning, about 25 to 27. I expect the snowshoe to be much larger than that just because of the time of year. Not a lot of teams are busy.
Yeah.
And the Smithville grant will drive some more. But usually I would say 25 to 27. My goal would really be at 30 to 32, just because it allows the charities that we help to really get more benefit from it. And our teams meet more people.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But
No, definitely. I was following a bunch of new people after every comp. We've been there. It's like you just meet so many new friends. You're following another whole new community now. Exists. We're always trapped in our own little bubble of our own little barbecue community.
say his name and he shall appear.
Big Rome.
What's up, brother?
There he was. We were just talking
Terry,
about you,
what's
Big
happening?
Rome.
Exactly. His ears were ringing.
Yep.
But Kathy, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. Obviously, with everything you got your hands in, you got more than one social media, different things. Where can everybody find you on all the different platforms? Being it inclusive, being it NEBS, Kids Q, have at it.
I think the best way to find me is in inclusive barbecue events. But I'm also really accessible in all the barbecue groups, and I respond really quickly. So I look forward to meeting more people that want to expand their information about barbecue. And for people who aren't sure, go to nebs.org.
And don't forget to post on our group, New England Pitmasters, which I know you have.
Yeah.
All right. That is going to be a great source to get. There's a lot of guys, a lot of our community members that are newer to competitions and that got their feet wet last year that really, really want to dive in this year. So post anytime you want on our group, New England Pitmasters, and on the group, not the page. Put on the group. That's where all the discussions are, and guarantee you're going to get people from that group alone. We have almost 6,000 in there now. So
Thank you.
It's growing pretty good. That's all I got.
That's all I got. But Kathy, thank you so much for taking some time. Thank you for reaching out. It was great to have you. We're always looking for guests.
Come back on whenever. If you ever need to make an announcement, just want to chat again.
I know there'll be some more events coming up, so
hit us up.
Great.
Give us a shout.
I've had a great time. So reach out anytime.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome, Kathy.
Thanks,
Thank you
Kathy.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But like you said, got your hands in so many different things. Kids Q, the planning, NEBS, inclusive. That's a busy lady right
She's
there.
a busy, busy woman. She has a tremendous love for barbecue, and it's inspiring as all hell. All right?
Absolutely.
It really is. It's inspiring. What are we doing next week, big dog? Oh, guess who's not going to be here next week?
What's this wee thing? You got a little mouse in your pocket or something?
You and me.
That's right.
Yeah.
I won't be here next week, guys. Or maybe for a year. Depends if I make it back.
Foreshadowing.
Try not to miss me too much. I will be in...
They won't even know you're good.
you jerk.
Yeah, they will. It'll be quiet.
I'll be in sunny Florida next week. It's going to be fun. I got
Working on
cameras
your
and
tan there,
security.
bud?
Don't try to rob me. I got cameras and security all over my house.
You had to
And
do a
very-
background check to get into Disney there, buddy
Very
buddy
nosy
boy?
neighbors. What in Naples? We're not going to Disney.
What, are you retired?
We decided no Disney this year anyway. So we're going to visit some friends down there. Taking the kids to Aruba in July, so I won't be here in July one of those Tuesdays.
You want to
FYI.
adopt me?
I asked the kids. we gave them a choice. Would you want to go to Disney World or go to Aruba? I was like Aruba. They said Aruba. I'm like, no. One of my sons hates lions. One of them hates rides. And then my daughter's...
All right, that just don't work.
And my daughter's cuckoo. She'll do anything. She'll wait in line. She'll go on rides. She'll do anything. So,
Yeah. So she's happy.
we're thinking about just taking her and leaving the boys home someday.
There you go.
Hey, you got cameras. You can watch them.
But anyway, don't miss me too much next week.
All right, we won't.
I'll be back. Don't worry.
So next week, we actually have Jim Buchanan of Dozer's BBQ out of Fulshire, Texas. Join us. Over 50 years in business. Think he knows a thing or two about
I think so.
about burning some sticks and smoking some meats.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. So as you're there
Tanning.
tanning yourself, getting a nice little bark on yourself.
I'm going to bark out nice, son. You know. You know.
But
I'll be back. Don't worry.
and we'll be here waiting for you.
My man.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. Catch the audio wherever podcasts are found. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. You have all our episodes right there at your fingertips. On social media, find us at all the links down below. Questions and comments, please send them to Pit Life BBQ Podcast at gmail.com. And like always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button. And at least for me,
Until next week.
till next week, keep the smoke rolling.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.